joining us today on Around the Peninsula. I'm Maria Sorreo. I am joined today by Lindsay Altamirano. She is the chair of the board of the Palos Verdes Peninsula Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for being with us today, Lindsay.
Thank you for having me, Maria.
Absolutely. Now, this is one of our favorite events of the year that the Chamber sponsors. That is Citizen of the Year and Salute to Business, or Salute to Business and Citizen of the Year. We love this event. It's amazing how I know your group spends a lot of time going through different honorees because there's so many really loyal people in this community that, I mean, you must have a million people to pick from, but how do you select them?
Yeah, we start by surveying our membership. We want to know who they think of when it comes to excellence in business, to new businesses, nonprofits, all of that. We want to know who they want to champion and recognize. And once we get all that feedback from our membership, then we have a special committee who reviews all of that, sort of puts their suggestions together and presents that to our chamber board. And our chamber board will make the final vote, and that's what we have here today.
You work 24/7, that's for sure.
Yes.
It's a very busy chamber, that
Yes.
is 100%. And we've had the opportunity to meet all of the honorees, and we're going to give our audience a sneak peek, so let's take a look.
Torrance Memorial serves the South Bay and the Peninsula community. Its service area captures around 900,000 people in our community. We are the largest employer in Torrance with over 4,500 employees. We average about 113,000 visits in our emergency department. In our outpatient services, we see over 1 million patients throughout our 40 different locations throughout the South Bay. Back in 2018, we affiliated with Cedars-Sinai Health System, forming the first health system and the first affiliates within that large health system. The goal between Cedars-Sinai and Torrance Memorial is to keep the care local. So how we do that is Cedars brings down specialists, physicians down into the South Bay to come alongside our physicians here in the community to be able to keep the care local. We're in the midst of our 100-year centennial, celebrating 100 years serving the community. We started it off back in April, putting a tent in our parking lot and celebrating with a week of healthcare clinics. We had a gala, we had an employee event just to share some of the history with each other over the last 100 years. We believe we've got a head start on the next 100 years with bringing some of the latest technologies to Torrance Memorial, along with that partnership that I shared earlier with Cedars-Sinai. The biggest thing about Torrance Memorial, more than anything else that I've shared, is the organization's culture. The culture of our organization, when you come into our facility, we want you to feel like you're family. You're part of the Torrance Memorial family, and that's the biggest thing that drew me to Torrance Memorial. Torrance Memorial is part of the fabric of the community. We have several locations here on the hill providing care to the local community, even reaching out in events like the landslides, providing meals, helping coordinate different efforts for the victims in the slide areas is something that is an example of things and how we give back to our community.
I grew up in Southern California, went to Hollywood High School and USC, then I moved to the beach. I met my wife when I lived on the Strand in Hermosa. We got married, had our first child, and she said, "We're moving." And so we chose the Palos Verdes Peninsula, which we absolutely love. When I graduated from college, I worked as a CPA with a big national firm, and then I went from there to be a real estate executive. Then I became a real estate developer, and finally my favorite profession is a farmer, where I am now. You get up with the sun, you have to basically go to bed almost at sunset. There's days that are really long. For example, the busiest time is at the harvest, when you harvest the grapes. Those typically takes place in September, and the harvest has to be done before it's warm. So it starts basically at daybreak. We bring in quite a few people in to pick, and that's finished by noon. So those days are very long, and then they drive the grapes to Buellton to make the wine. So it's a long day. That my friend and neighbor Darius Khalide, that has the Darius Vineyard and Winery in Napa Valley, he came to see the property. He said, "Jim, this is an unbelievable location for a vineyard. I mean, it's south-facing, it gets the ideal sunlight, it's cool, it gets fog, it's for thin-skinned, cool-weather grapes, it's ideal. So he sent his team down from Napa Valley, studied the soil and the conditions, and that's why we chose growing Pinot Noir and Chardonnay grapes. Part of the thing that really is rewarding to me is to give back to the community, because with our event garden, we can handle up to 250 people. We normally keep it at 125, but we've had events virtually for every charity on the Palos Verdes Peninsula or in Southern California. So that's very rewarding to be able to give back. We support the Beacon House, we support the Boys and Girls Club of the Harbor. You know, those I say would be my favorites, but also, you know, Children's Hospital, you know, that's a needy organization. So, you know, there's so many, and we're happy to help.
So Gaetano is the name of my great-grandfather. He started Giuliano's Delicatessen back in the 50s, and he is he was an amazing man to our family. He was kind of the patriarch. He had 6 brothers and sisters. Everyone looked up to him, and you know, being such a special man, there was one name that we had in mind when naming Gaetano's, my parents that is, and that was that. Gaetano's are after him, Gaetano Giuliano. So Gaetano's was opened back in '93 by my parents, and the goal is just to serve great food in a really hospitable environment by friendly people. And you know, to this day, we really still focus on that as the background of the restaurant. Our handmade food's number one. Meatballs are handmade. We do handmade pastas. We do handmade ravioli. But I think also it's the feeling you get when you go into a restaurant. You know, it's not just about the food or the service. It's about the feeling. And I think we're giving a feeling when you walk in that door. We've got a guest experience that's above the rest, right? Our dining room coordinator welcomes you. Our manager comes to your tables. We've got great servers. We've got amazing bartenders. Cocktails, patio. It looks like you're feeling like you're in Tuscany. So it's a feeling you get when you go there. Not to mention the food's amazing. But yeah, it's an experience. It's the whole package. So we've got a lot of family recipes. My grandmother came from a huge Italian family, both sides. We've got recipes from my Giuliano side, got recipes from my Russo side, that's my mom's side. So the recipes have stayed intact, different methods, modern methods, different cooking techniques, but the recipes, the actual ingredients have stayed intact. The one thing that my dad taught me growing up was you can never cut quality. The quality always has to be the best. So everything we give in our products is the best ingredients possible. So, you know, I grew up here, and to me, you know, the community was always great to the kids growing up, and then, you know, the student athletes, and then it was, hey, you know, we want to welcome you back if you're going to college and whatnot. So to me, the community it's an amazing community to be raised here, and then for us to give back, it's special because then it's a feeling of like, okay, I'm giving back to this amazing community that gave me so much growing up. You know, but not to mention the restaurant. The restaurant for me is such a way for us to say, hey, we love the business you guys are providing us. This is our way of saying thank you to the community, to those that need, and you know, it's a pleasure to do so.
Peninsula Point is an assisted living and memory care community. It was first established, very first residents came in April 2024. We serve all of our senior population. We provide hands-on care for each of our residents, dining services, activities, and provide a community for all of our residents that are in need of additional care. I think we have fostered such a great team and culture. My belief has always been making a community for a community. So it's not just another building, it's not another assisted living that one of your loved ones go to. It's definitely a home for everyone, that not only for the residents, but their families, their friends, and grandkids, anyone that's welcome is able to come to our community and be a part of it. So the biggest thing is just getting our name out there and making sure people know that we are a presence in the community. And it's always the hardest part when you're opening up a brand new community, but being part of the local businesses, being a part of the chamber, being a part of showing people that we're a great place, not just to bring your loved one, but to hang out and to come to some of our events. So that's a big thing that we like to make sure anytime someone's just interested, and let's say they maybe not looking in the moment or looking to make a big move, you still say, come by to have some lunch. Come by and join one of our most proudest events that we've had is we hosted a Penchella, which was a Coachella-inspired event that we hosted with some of the community. We invited everybody in the area just to come out to listen to some live performers, and we all dressed up the part. We brought all kinds of different genres of music, and they played throughout the community. It was such a huge event. It was very, very exciting to have. And we had a Dolly Parton impersonator as well, and that was our headliner, is what we called it. So it was very exciting, and they had such a good time. So, I mean, so many times people think of senior living, you think of, and I always use this example, you think of The Simpsons, right? You think of all the jokes and it's not the funnest place to go to.
Right.
But we want to make it that. It's a new modern way of living, and that's what Peninsula really tries to emphasize, is it's being fun. It's being able to do the things you've been wanting to do all your life, and even though you're probably at the most vulnerable stage in your life, you're still able to go out and have a good time. So we do local trips. We bring people to the community for those that aren't able to go out, and making sure that they still live a very fulfilling life.
We were so excited to bring the market to the neighborhood and really lay a foundation for people to have a central hub, as you mentioned, to come and to meet your friends. It was kind of part of our business plan as well, to have people hug in the market because they haven't seen each other for a long time. And so the kitchen was an extension of that. With the market, people brought us into their homes with the products that they bought and the stories that they told us, and then it became our turn to bring them into our home, our kitchen, where scratch cooking kind of nourishes the soul. I think scratch cooking, it just, everything always tastes better when it comes from scratch. And we always pair that with our secret ingredient, love, of course. And I think our cuisine is kind of the typical California coastal cuisine, and we kind of pepper in and flavor in some of the seasonal specials as well. I think when you choose to nourish people, you have to choose the starting point, which is with the ingredients. And when the ingredients come from a place of freshness, from a place that they are thoughtfully sourced, I think moving forward from that point, you can only deliver deliciousness. I think it's important to see people, to meet them where they are, and to get a sense of where they are in their life. Everybody has such an important story to tell. And the kitchen, the restaurant, it really gives the opportunity for people to kind of slow down, take a look out at that beautiful view of Catalina Island that we have from our patio, and share a tale or two and kind of get the things that are in their heart out. I think it's part of the circle of life. When things come to you, you have to give them back as well. I don't go a day without thanking the people in the neighborhood for the support that they give us, the community that we have, and the opportunities that we have also in order to make the connections with people. We do so many things for the neighborhood and so many outreach programs for people, and it's important. It's important to always have a sense of your community and a sense of giving back.
We are an 87-acre botanic garden. That's a big number. It's about the size of Disneyland, to put it in perspective. When you come through our gates, you're seeing so many varieties of plants on display, from formal collections like our Bohannon Rose Garden and our Dorothy and Ellen Lay Staghorn Fern collection, to wild and woolly nature trails that you can explore on your own. Our mission is to connect all to the wonders of nature. And so once we get folks through our gates, they sort of go off and start enjoying the plants, start enjoying the people that they're there with, we hope, and really start to put their nature's eyes on and connect to all the wonders that are around them. So, we've been here in the community for 65 years. It's our 65th anniversary. It's amazing to think what the space was like 65 years ago. It was a garbage dump, right? Thinking about before that, it was an open pit mine. It was really dirty and wasted space. So I imagine today what a gift the nature is to the community. All of the oxygen that is being created by the trees, all of the beautiful habitat that is there for the local wildlife to enjoy, and then of course the people. So when people come in through our gardens and walk our trails, their blood pressure comes down and there's sort of a sense of calm that washes over you. And it's just kind of a moment to disconnect from your technology, from your computer, and just kind of be for a little bit. You're connecting with the people you're with, your family, maybe you're holding someone's hand, walking through our trails. And this is the gift that is South Coast Botanic Garden. You might be coming for a special event and having a wonderful concert that you've enjoyed, but you might also be just having a quiet moment. Teachers will come in and use this as an outdoor classroom. They'll really expand on those learning moments that they're trying to create inside their classrooms. They get to see it in real life when they come to South Coast Botanic Garden. When we look at our visitorship, the number of folks we're serving from hyper-local neighborhoods is very substantial. Our regular daily walkers, our members who are coming back more and more. But we also look at ourselves as a regional facility. And so we are excited when we receive visitors from all around the world, really, coming to see us. We have an exhibit coming up of Thomas Dambo's troll sculptures. These are larger than life wooden trolls that we did have at the garden maybe 2 years ago. We have new sculptures by the same artist coming back. And we know that we're going to have a guest book that says folks are visiting us from Germany or from France. People are really traveling to see South Coast Botanic Garden. And what's exciting about that is they're bringing them to our community and taking part in our local businesses and really creating a larger community around the garden and Palos Verdes.
The Circle is just an amazing group of women, and we support the Arts Center by raising funds, since the Arts Center is a nonprofit organization. It was started by Harlene Norris and Enid Coors, February 28, 1975. There are more than 100 women in the Circle, and they work many hours to support the Arts Center. So in the past, we've sold cookbooks, had kitchen tours, home tours that stopped with COVID. And from that point on, we've done collected treasures. And collected treasures are estate sale type items that are donated to us. We collect them all year long, clean them up, categorize them, price them. And last year we had a record high of $78,000 that we made for the Arts Center. We have an incredible group of women that support this center, and they're so committed and dedicated to what they do. You know, it's really interesting because what I think it is, it's the camaraderie. They all support each other. The Circle provides docent tours of the galleries, which is very, very helpful. And I think that has brought more people in. But what I'm surprised about is that there aren't very many people who are aware of the Arts Center. And so our goal this year with our 50th anniversary is to invite the community to see what it is. So not only are we celebrating with our members, we've invited businesses throughout the community, government officials. This Art Center has been in existence for 93 years. It provides the space for art at your fingertips to train the docents. So that touches 6,000 children a year with art education. We have a program on Friday called Special Fridays because we take underprivileged children and who have special ed needs, and we give them art experiences on Friday. And this is all volunteer. It was created, the program itself was created by one of our founding members of the Circle to give children art experiences on a limited amount of money, because artists and music are usually the first things that are taken away from public education. So on a limited amount of money, we train parents to go into the classroom and to teach children art experiences. So I think it's a very valuable place.
We are the Rotary Club of Palos Verdes Peninsula, and we are a group, there's about 40 of us in the group, and we do a lot of community service work, and we just are here to fulfill the Rotary motto of service above self. So we do fundraising for scholarships for kids in the area that are, that need financial help to go to college. So we give maybe 5, 6, 7 scholarships a year that we give just from the money that comes from fundraising from the Educator of the Year Awards. Each person who joins Rotary, the primary reason is to serve their community. It gives them an avenue. We have all these projects we do, like the Educator of the Year, or the newest one, the Rotary Responders Roundup, where we honored first responders, one from the Lomita Station of the Sheriff's Department, Palos Verdes State's Police Department, as well as the LA County Fires. Back in July 2023, 17 families were affected by a landslide on Pear Tree Lane. We were asked to create a fund and help collect and promote giving for a fund for those families, and then we collected for those families, and then we distributed those funds to them.
The history is that there was a walk at the beach, I believe it was Redondo Beach, years ago, that attracted a lot of attention. And it was done by a gentleman who's also an author and an actor who was born blind. And his whole quest was to never let them stop him, never let it stop him. He went on to be a regular on Good Morning America. He's written books. He and his wife, the Sullivans, who started Vistas for Children. And it just became then the women of our community to help keep it going. We are a group of all volunteer women, and we raise money by doing 2 fundraisers a year for children in need, women and children with health issues. The fashion shows are the biggest fundraisers we have every year, and we are lucky to be able to get donations of wonderful clothes or get reductions from designers on wonderful clothes. And it's always a fun day, and it's opening with vendors. So there's vendor sales, there's lunch, and then there's the fashion show. We have a vetting system that begins every year with organizations having to go online and fill out the forms and et cetera. Many of who we donate to are returning and people that we know. Some are from everyone we're donating to is our community. Every meeting we have, and today we're going to have another meeting in the library, starts with one of our philanthropies coming to talk about what they do, how it's going, what they need. There's just a lot of need still here.
Martin Chevrolet was, in 1966, they built the building. They built it. Ted Green was the original person that built it. Marty Jacobs was his general manager. And I was Marty's general manager. So when Marty bought out Ted, and then I bought out Marty, and it's been there a long time, and we got over 100 employees. About 39 to 40% of them have been there over 10 years. Probably 9 or 10% over 20 years. Wow. And the majority has been 5 years or more now. Yeah, we very seldom, we don't have a high turnover because you treat them good. If you treat them good, they're going to stay. I feel that one of the biggest reasons we're successful is because I tend to be as good as I can to the employees. That way they'll be good to the customers. And it's worked out very, very well. I grew up breached, so I spent 6 months at a sick children's hospital. So that was one of my biggest things, was the hospitals, make sure, especially with sick children. And we do sponsor the Seahorse Classic every year. That's the golf tournament we sponsor up in at PV Country Club. And we were a major sponsor for the first 5 years. And that's for the kids. It's for the Children's Hospital. So we sponsor that. And that's probably where it came from, the fact that I got involved as a young kid. And there's so many organizations that do give back. And there's so many community people. And there's so many people like you. And so many of the people around here that get involved with guys like myself who like to give back to the community. So it makes it easy. You don't feel like you're being taken advantage of or asked for something all the time. So it's something we want to do from the heart. PV Women's Club, the Peninsula High Schools. The biggest one is probably Torrance Memorial Hospital with donations of cars. Torrance Education Foundation, Peninsula Education Foundation, Riviera Little League, Chadwick High Schools, just Boys and Girls Club is probably the biggest one. Been doing that for 27 years now. Many donations and all their golf tournaments. Mike Lansing, I had him run the Olympic torch in 2002 down Sunset Boulevard, which was very nice. He was the director at the Boys and Girls Club. So there's just so many damn good people around here. There really is. There's a bunch of idiots too, but we don't tell them that to their face. And the customer's always right. And if he's wrong, then obviously he's not a customer. But no, it's the people. It's always been the people. And I get along very good with everybody. I try to anyways. And the ones that I don't get along with, I generally don't see very often. So it's all good. Thank you, Chamber of Commerce, for this award. Citizen of the Year is it's very humbling. In order to be a good citizen, you have to obey the law, which we tend to try to do all the time, and give back to the community. And we strive to do that at Martin Chevrolet. So thank you very much. It's really it's a humbling award, and I appreciate it very much. So does my family. Thank you.
So many people that really give back to the community and are really very worthy of these honors. So great job, as always.
Thank you.
It's always fun to meet everyone. Now, we want to invite the community to come out for the event. It's a dinner at Trump National Golf Club, and that is on Thursday.
November 20th, 5 p.m.
Excellent. And how can we get tickets?
You can go to palosverdeschamber.com. We have all our sponsorship packages laid out, as well as our ticket options. Or you can call our office at 310-377-8111.
Excellent. Lindsay, thank you so much for being in studio with us, and we look forward to seeing you back at the event.
Thank you, Maria.
All right, and thank you so much for watching. I'm Maria Sorreo, and we'll see you next time around the peninsula.